fellas will be over here in a few minutes.
Cool.
What's happening, YouTube? Wakanda came and hooked me up with the Falcon shirt last night. It's your boy, Lamont Tyson, the living legend, Larry. And Wakanda came to the house last night helping out these cuts for the sluts. You see that? I am celebrating us finally getting a big screen Captain America that's black. Question I have is, America, can you handle it?
Are you ready?
Can you handle no blonde hair, no blue eyes? Can you handle it? Larry, the living legend, Larry. How you feeling tonight, my brother?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling like they're just gonna have to handle it. They're gonna have to deal with it. You know, it's here. That's what it is. It is here. So there's no matter of can they handle it or not. They don't have a choice. Handle it or just be mad.
Yep. And before we get this ship rolling, I want to let you guys know, E-Man, B. Avery, they will all be coming over here to take victory laps, especially E-Man, punk self. He coming over here to bash my head in about Sharon Carter, man. I'm so disappointed in her. I might have to kick her to the curb, Larry. But my people,
we don't know if it's her.
It's her. Be sure, people, to go check out.
No, we don't know if it's her. It could be a scroll.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then be sure to go check out my people at the Hype Paradise. Get your snowfall gear. They just had their finale this past Wednesday. It was a really, really good finale. That was a good damn finale. And my man has got all the gear you can get. Life Gains is the code. Use that code, get 10% off. I've got a shirt from them. Love it. You guys will like it too. And so, Larry, in a quick minute, give me your overall synopsis of this episode, Falcon Winter Soldier. I'll give you mine. Then we'll dive into the nuts and bolts.
I thought it was a good episode. I mean, it left me wanting in some areas. You know, I'll be honest with you though. The opening scene, you know, when you talked, we were talking earlier. You said, well, they were talking about they keep trying to make Anthony Mackie into a leading man, and he's not really a leading man. You said, and I feel like they keep doing him wrong on a lot of levels. Like that scene where he came in and they did the reveal with the new suit and him carrying the, you know, wielding the shield and all that. It's like it was like they didn't really give it any build up. I feel like when you have something like that, they've spent this entire season building up to the fact that he was going to get the shield, building up to the fact that we were going to see him in a new suit, building up to the fact that we were going to see him be Captain America who's black. They were been building up to all of this. And then when they finally revealed it, it was just sort of like we see the shield come through a window and then he comes through a few moments after. And I'm just like, they should have had something else. We should have seen like a streak of light going across the sky. And maybe a dude that, you know, some people are fighting. Maybe the dude just gets punched across the room, but we don't really see who does it. We see all these little flashes of stuff happening, and then boom, they can have him come through the window with a big reveal. But they needed to build some tension up in that moment. They didn't build any tension up. So when he came through for the reveal, it just fell flat. And that's why I said that they kind of did Anthony Mackie wrong in that moment. And so for me, that kind of set the tone of the whole episode, where it was still a good episode. There were still some very touching moments in it, but I was still left wanting overall. So.
Yeah, I was wanting overall. And I think the tension that Marvel tried to build with the opening scene was from last week when the Flag Smashers took over the GRC. I think that was supposed to be the tension. But what you're talking about is you wanted tension or a build-up or a hype song or something for Anthony Mackie in particular coming in taking the lead.
Yeah.
I overall felt, how can I put this? I'm still not feeling Anthony Mackie as a lead superhero character. I didn't really get invested fully in this episode until Anthony Mackie came down from the heavens with Karli's lifeless body in his arms. And people, there is definitely love tension between Karli and Anthony Mackie. They just took that man's girlfriend away. You have been saying
that all season.
But when Anthony Mackie gave that speech, hold on, fellas. When Anthony Mackie gave that speech after he put Karli's dead body on the gurney, I'm fully involved now. I'm in it. We see Isaiah crying. More reveals happen. And then after that was when I was fully invested in it. However, as much as I liked it, I still didn't feel what I felt like I needed to feel for Anthony Mackie to be the lead character. And it could be simply that it's Captain America, because Anthony Mackie's character is like Iron Man. He doesn't have any power. His power is what his suit can do. And in the comics, his suit was not vibranium. His wings were never vibranium. And maybe it's going to take some more seeing him on screen. I've just got a rumor mill that there is going to be a Captain America 4. So maybe he'll be able to blow me away in that. But that's just my opening salvo. We'll take time to dive into the points I want to make. And joining us, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the big state where they got ribs and they got barbecue sauce that's so hot it'll make your brain sweat. It is my cousin, my brother, B. Avery. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing?
We hanging tough, my man. Give me your 1 minute opening salvo about how you felt about this episode. Then we'll dive on into the action. By the way, Dora Milaje came to see me last night, dropped me off what Anthony Mackie didn't want to take out the box. So they left this with me and they say it would fit my cuts for the sluts just right. And it's hugging these sleeves. It's hugging. And I appreciate the Dora Milaje for this.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I like that. Overall, I really did enjoy the episode. I think it was a pretty decent season finale, to say the least. At this point in time, I've seen the episode twice. And like last time, I liked it more the second time around. I know I'm coming in late, but I kind of echo some of the things that you were saying about Sam taking over the mantle and Isaiah Bradley. There was a couple of disappointing things, but for the most part, everything played out the way it should. I enjoyed it. There was a few aspects I wanted a bit more, but overall, I am satisfied.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not blown away. I'm satisfied, but I'm not I'm not jumping for joy. I'm not blown away. I'm happy that we've got a Black Captain America. And I was just teasing the people who are probably mad as shit about it. Oh, well, just get over it.
Who could be mad about it? That's crazy. That's insane.
Those with blue eyes, blonde hair, and don't believe in equality, they're mad as hell. They're mad at Marvel. I mean, you think they care to have? I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I compare comic book characters, African American ones, to what goes on in wrestling. And if you don't know what goes on in wrestling, wrestling has a horrible history with Black wrestlers because the crowd, they never can get any energy from the crowd unless they're bad guys or unless they're fucking goofballs. So if you come out there dressed like a box of cereal, oh yeah, the crowd will laugh at you like a clown. Okay. And Kofi Kingston, I hate to rag on y'all, but you know what WWE done to y'all. Or if you come out there as a bad guy, like the Nation of Domination, the crowd really hates you. You have a hard time in wrestling coming out there as a guy who stands for truth, justice, and the American ideals and getting the crowd behind you. And I fear in the beginning that's what's going to happen to Anthony Mackie. But you know what? Oh, well. Well.
Yeah. At the very least, it was a solid show. At the very least,
it was solid. It was definitely solid. All right, people, we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into the review. But before we dive into the review, I always have to give at least one video of the essence of the show or movie that we're following. And this one, I've got two today because it's the finale. But this particular video was when my heart was fully in it. I was like, you go, Anthony Mackie. I'm very proud of you. So take a look at this.
I'm a black man carrying the stars and stripes. What don't I understand? Every time I pick this thing up, I know there are millions of people out there who are going to hate me for it. I feel it. The stares, the judgment. And there's nothing I can do to change it. And I'm still here. No super serum, no blonde hair or blue eyes. The only power I have is that I believe we can do better.
That's funny. He played it, and then I saw the Green Ranger. Nice, nice. You've been holding out on me. Wow, wow.
That's dope.
It is.
I told y'all the Dora Milaje came to see me last night. Which y'all thought I was lying?
I see.
Which y'all thought I was lying?
I'm jelly. I'm jelly.
This is not nobody's dumpster top. This is real vibranium, baby. I am Falcon America tonight. Damn it. Falcon America tonight. Yeah. I'm going to be here holding my shield, protecting my house, protecting my princess, and protecting Black America, because we can be Captain America, damn it.
Yes. Yes.
Let's get this, fellas. Let's get
How
this.
long you been having that?
Whenever I sent y'all that message and said I might have some surprises, that's all I started to hit you up, be able and say, let's do an unboxing together. And I was going to go outside, take my shirt off, toss it on some of the trees at the house, and I still might do that too. Just to show y'all this thing don't play. This thing don't play.
Nice.
But fellas, let's get. Hey man, hey, stop this shoot breeze. This is not no dumpster top. This is real deal vibranium.
Right.
You see that? Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, ain't no dumpster top. But fellas, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. B. Avery, when they first hit this, when the show first hit, they picked up from last week when Karli had took over the GRC. But we started this week with Emily VanCamp, and I'm so disappointed. I'm so sad. My heart is broken. I'm almost tempted not to even let E-Man come on the show tonight.
You knew what it was, though. Yeah. You knew what it was.
Man. No, man. B. Avery, I give you credit. You're the only one that had my back on this one, and she disappointed us both. But anyway, she pulls off the damn cloak off her face like Scarlett Johansson had in Winter Soldier, and she's there to help Bucky and Anthony Mackie deal with Karli and the GRC. Next thing we know, Falcon pops in with the new suit. As you guys can see, the Dora Milaje gave him a shield, and then they came and gave me one too. How did you feel about the opening scene? B. Avery, going to kick it to you first.
Yeah, like you said, man, I'm a bit disappointed with Sharon Carter and the power broker deal. I just knew they were pulling the fast one on us and some type of misdirect, but apparently that's not the case. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But when we first saw her, pop up, I was like, wow, that's the Winter Soldier trick. And I'm like, what the hell? It was kind of weird for me because I'm like, you complaining about how you can't come over to America or the United States, but here you are, doing this 1, 2, 3. But moving on to Falcon, that intro that he made, flying through the window, throwing the shield, that was dope as hell. I like that intro right there. Even just the small details of like, it was one particular shot where they showed the shield spinning in the air like at an angle. I was like, that just looks badass right there, just to see him fly in and just clink clink and do a little barrel roll and I'm like, okay, that was nice. I like that, because initially I was kind of bummed out because I wanted to see him pull the suit out and kind of hold it up and look at it. Like, wow, and kind of start to put it on. And the first time we see it, he's in flight from a distance. But they made up for it, in that intro, that superhero landing. Those never get old. And so it was just a badass opening scene, and then he continued to kind of get whooped by Batroc, the Leaper, but we can talk about that in a second. What's up, Poochie? What's up?
Yeah. And Larry, jump on in there. Talk about your opening section. And somebody's in here talking about this is Wakandan. Where are my claw marks? You see that? You see that scratch? That's a battle I done had, and I ain't telling y'all about it. You know what I'm saying? That is me in battle with the shield. It's going to protect this house. So don't think that this is that Home Depot shield that my boy had, the U.S. agent. This is real vibranium. Take over, Larry.
Yeah, man. B. Avery, I have to disagree with you in part on that opening scene.
Okay.
And I liked what I saw on that part, but I felt like they just sort of threw us on it. They didn't. I felt like that we've been building up all this tension the entire season, leading to the reveal of Black Captain America, and then when the scene came, they gave us no tension. It was like we just saw the shield come to the window, and then he came in right after. I'm like, why didn't they build that up a little bit? There were so many other slow parts in this episode. They could have easily trimmed someplace else and gave us 20-30 seconds of build up on this particular scene, so that when he came through and had the final reveal, we could all have been like, yeah. Instead, he came through, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's what the suit looks like. Cool.
I can't argue with you. I also will say I know it looks exactly like the comic book adaptation, but that doesn't mean that I still want to see Hugh Jackman in yellow tights like Wolverine. I thought it was too much white at the kind of at the top of it. It could have been a little less white, but that's just me.
B. Avery, you're not the only one. I was sitting here saying, for all my people, and Larry, you watched The Boys, I was saying this suit reminds me way too much of A-Train. That's exactly what I was saying.
Okay.
B. Avery, you ain't up to date on The Boys yet.
Right.
But I was sitting here
you have
saying,
to get down with that, man.
Yeah, I was sitting here saying this suit remind me way too much of A-Train. And now that you mentioned it, B. Avery, getting rid of some of that white probably would have made it better. But I mean, it's all good. My only gripe about it was I wanted him to beat the shit out of Backdrop. I mean, they displayed how he could do his moves and use the shield with the vibranium technology that they had. They displayed all that. But I still wanted him to really lay the hammer down on the Leaper. And he kind of really didn't. Right. And then when he went back through the window, I'm like, bruh, you just gonna let him sit there like he's a creep. He's gonna go somewhere else and do something bad. You could at least knock him out and strung him up like Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, I see what you're saying right there as far as logic is concerned. That makes sense. But I think given the sequence of events, he had no choice but to leave and go like save the helicopter or wherever it was he was getting to. So, I mean, I see what you're saying though.
Right.
But that was my only reason, why I was cool with that part.
Oh, man. Oh, Lord.
There we go.
Oh, God. Lord. See, let me tell y'all about black people. When black people try to be nice to you before they try to dig into you. But you know what? I got me a shield that Wakanda brought personally so I can shield off people like you, E-Man. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. E-Man, the man who I don't want to really talk to tonight. The man who had nothing nice to say about Sharon Carter. The man who was about to call that poor woman a traitor to her nation. He's going to say she will sell her soul to the highest bidder, and everybody has a price. E-Man in the building. Speak your piece, my brother.
Oh, man, I just wanted to come and talk to you guys. What's going on? Why you got the shield, bro? What you got the shield for, man? I just want to come talk to y'all, hang out, I ain't even got no hidden agenda or nothing, just.
I got my eyes on you.
Okay, hey man, I'm just here to talk about
Lamont. I bet you I can get one of those from Sharon.
Hey Larry, I bet you she can broker a good deal with you.
You know.
Powerfully.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
Sugar Mama Sharon.
oh my Lord, have mercy.
Oh,
See, you can't.
Ooh. Ooh.
Man, speak your piece, man. 'Cause this
Hey, man. I didn't even come for this. Look, I did not wake up and choose violence today. Okay, that was not my choice. All right, it's not my fault that Marvel laid out the clear stuff, the evidence, And what did I say? I've been saying this from the jump. Marvel don't be going as deep as we like them to go. People. And again, anything is possible, right? Maybe she's a Skrull. Maybe she's like working for Hydra. Whatever. But at the end of the day, they made it very clear. She out here. Hey, put that shield down. Put that shield down. They made it very clear. They showed you the power brokers watching what's going on. Sharon out here watching, folks. She out here with a whole class of goons walking around her. She out here making deals. What do I say? Powerfully. Come on, man. Come on.
It's so whack to me and just unbelievable. I'm just not buying that. I'm not buying that jump and transition. It just
that she's the power broker.
Yeah.
Hashtag it's been Sharon all along.
Man,
yeah, that's
man.
They be showing. I'm just saying they be showing y'all these things. Like Marvel don't even try to hide stuff no more.
It don't even make sense. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
See, B. Avery, my brother, feels my frustration. It's just like,
and I hate to jump around, just especially with what happened in the post-credit scene. I mean, she got what she wanted, but she still want to be like, I got the connect.
And who's the highest bidder and shit? Like I'm the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase.
I never said it was gonna be like a earth-shattering revelation. I just said like they showing you the clues right there.
But y'all, look. I mean, we can jump around. It's the finale. I mean, everybody knows what's going on. We got these things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
B. Avery, didn't her and Captain America kiss in Civil War? Don't they have a thing going on?
They do.
And her gripe is that after the blip, none of the Avengers came to say anything to her.
Yep.
Okay, is your phone broke, Sharon? You ain't got no phone.
You
power broker. You don't have a phone to call somebody to say, help me. You is Captain America's side chick.
It's a lot going on, man. They got Thanos invading the planet and people disappearing. I mean, shit, pick up the phone. And what's up? We forgot about you too.
Exactly.
It's a lot of things going on. She act like she hit them up and they was like, yeah, we'll get back to you, and then went on about their business or something. No, this was stupid.
See, B. Avery gets it. Damn it. B. Avery understands.
Oh my God. No,
he gets
forget that.
Highlight
Sharonda's comment right there.
I'm about to bring Sharonda on.
Bring her in.
We bringing Sharonda on the show now
because she's absolutely
all right to be upset.
Yes, she got look. Everybody else. Hey, y'all talking about Cap? What did Cap do in Civil War at the end? He broke everyone out of the raft. You couldn't go get Sharon?
Where was she at? Was she in prison?
They couldn't find her? They got all the Stark technology and everything. They couldn't find her?
Was she in prison, sir? Was she in prison?
It don't matter. They ain't go looking for her.
Wait, break her out for what?
Yeah.
Because she's a wanted criminal just like they were.
Did they know that? We didn't know that.
Yes, she was an accomplice. She's the one that got the shield.
Yeah, I have to admit.
She literally helped them out.
Yeah,
no. Well, that's bad writing or something because no, I don't know.
All I'm saying is she had more than enough reason to be mad that you literally see all these other wanted fugitives, Sam, Hawkeye, Bucky, all these people that were, fugitives out there fighting and being free, and then all of a sudden you sitting here running away in Mad Report and ain't nobody call you, ain't nobody send you a text, ain't nobody send you a WhatsApp, Instagram, nothing.
Hold on, Sharonda. Hello, man. Hey, Sharonda, how you doing?
Hey, Sharonda.
Hey, what's going on? Up? But man, who else was fighting and where? You said the rest of the Avengers was out fighting. Where were they fighting?
I'm saying the 2 years from 2016 at the end of Civil War to 2018 before Infinity War. Steve and Vision and Sam and everybody was running around. I mean, hey, you saw Vision and Wanda out there kicking it in London, having a good old time as some wanted criminals and stuff. Good old time. What happened to Sharon? She's just out there. They just left her in the cold. Didn't nobody care. She went and got a whole shield for that man. Nothing.
She's not an Avenger.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
I can't believe that y'all really
y'all pulling the status card.
On their right to be upset. Like y'all really feel that way. Y'all felt that with y'all chest.
Justice for Sharon.
Sharon has the right.
She got a pardon though.
But somebody who this woman literally cannot talk to her family anymore. She cannot come to America anymore. She literally has to stay overseas doing all this crazy stuff because she literally gave up. She sided with them, gave up her life, her job, her career.
Okay.
So we're supposed to believe the power broker doesn't have an encrypted phone so she can call her mama?
She can't see her family in person. She cannot come back to the States. So y'all sitting up here telling me that if you literally gave up being able to see your family, being able to have a life, married, kids, can't do any of that because you're on the run, because you can go to jail at any time. You mean to tell me that you wouldn't be upset? And then these fools have the nerve to ignore you for years, and you bring your black ass to me to then ask me to do a favor for you? Not one, not two. He asked for three.
I'm being a little salty, but here's the thing. I think one of two things. Either one, I don't think that's Sharon. I think it's either a scroll or it is Sharon, but Sharon's not really a bad guy. She's still working for Nick Fury.
And two, I don't know about the language of they ignored her because there was never any indication that she reached out for one. And then two, they didn't go to her in Madripoor. She found them. And they was like, oh, hey, Sharon,
she was doing something on her own, and she came in contact with them. She was not looking for it. They came to her hometown. They came to her spot. They blew up her spot. And
she also mentioned that they didn't come looking for her either.
Yeah, exactly. You found me. I mean, now you want to ask me for favors. And the first thing he said was, "Hey, man, I'm sorry about everything." So he knew what happened. So you knew what happened, and you thought it was okay to ask me for a favor.
My point is, it was bad. It would look, yeah. If I am ignored, yes, I do have a right to be upset. But there was nowhere in the show or the movies. I'm saying that's bad writing. I don't like the transition from Civil War to this. They didn't fill it in. They didn't fill in the gaps. You know.
Well, to be fair, maybe she has some explanation or something in Black Widow. Because we can't forget about that. Right. That Black Widow is supposed to take place.
Some of these characters are.
That's right.
Yeah. So maybe.
I'm just saying. For me, it's just a hell of a jump to where she's lipping with Steve. Oh, I love you, baby. To like, oh, I'm the power broker. It's like what?
That's when did she do that?
Survival of the fittest.
Wait. Hold on. She did that in the course of like 9 years. 2019. I'm sorry, 2014. That's when she started hooking up with Steve. It's now 2023. I'm pretty sure people could change over that course of time.
Yeah, but they didn't tell us they changed.
Yeah,
yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
The only thing we know with Steve Love life is he kissed her, then all of a sudden at the end of Infinity War, he went back with her great auntie.
But everybody knew Steve was gone, or they wouldn't have got a new Captain America. So she knew he was gone. So there was no more love.
Why y'all acting like people can't go on a date and then things change like a decade later?
This is the stuff that they will go through to try to just not say that you're right. They're really right. This is the length that they will go just to be like, instead of saying, "Hey, man, hey, Sharana, y'all are absolutely right." They were disrespectful. They just gonna throw some mess at you. They don't mean nothing.
See, this is B.A.B. Do you understand why I have this shield now? Do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand? The best joke I can give them is this.
Yeah.
That's why that's still the shield from the truth, though. I know that.
You better put that white man shield down. I just want that white man shield is going.
I just wanted a better transition. That's all I'm saying. You look. I just said she has a right to be upset if she was ignored. I'm just saying, as far as the writing, they could have written it better. It could have been a bit, for me at least. It just could have been a better transition. But
you want a Sharon Disney Plus show?
Yes. I do.
Yes.
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I do agree with Brandon. I think the main problem with the show is they let some subplots just linger too long to the point where they introduce new stuff that we care more about than what was happening before. So when you have this big revelation, it's just like, well, yeah, I knew that was her because that's the same stuff I would have did, but I still don't care. So,
right.
See, she over here talking like a Republican. She just chastised me and B. Avery for our thoughts. Then she's going to turn around and say, I agree with him. When the whole time me and B. Avery been arguing about the way...
I agree with a separate point. I did not agree. Let me be clear, okay? I did not agree that she didn't have a right to be upset. She does. What I'm saying is, because of the poor writing and the fact that they subplots happen, I didn't care at the end of the day.
Right.
Oh, you didn't care? Well, that's what we kind of arguing too, to some degree.
But no,
we've been saying this all season.
All season.
To both of y'all points, though, like, I don't know why people are so tripped up over the fact that she flipped. I'm like, I don't care if she flipped. That's fine. Whatever. Like, it's been a couple years. She's gone through some things. She's a minor character. Cool. Fine. Move on. I'm not losing sleep over Sharon Carter. Huh?
People was upset about it.
I wanted her and Steve to get married, and now they can't anymore because she.
It was just people were like, I can't.
Grandma.
It was just that people were like, I can't believe Sharon returned. Why would Sharon? Not Sharon. I'm like, no,
I'm not.
What did y'all care about this?
Yeah, I can say I'm not that invested in her character to care.
I am invested in Sharon because I like her as an actress. I like her on other shows too.
Ralph
however,
Ortiz, what's up?
However,
Sharon Carter, power broker. Just wanted to say that.
Oh my! Never mind. Go ahead.
Ralph was going hard in the comments last time. He was going hard. He was like, "No, this don't make sense. It can't be her. It don't. No."
Let me.
What's up, Ralph?
Who is she calling at the end on the phone? Who y'all think she's calling?
It could be a number of different people.
It could be Thunderbolt Ross. Yep. It could be Madam Hydra.
It could be Nick Fury. It could be Ross. It could be Val.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, it could be Nick Fury.
From making predictions from WandaVision.
I mean, we just saying. That's all. we just saying. And so Black Bleach. Excuse me. Don't drink that, by the way. Is saying she's calling Fury. She could be.
Possibly.
Why would she call Fury? Fury ain't ever been
commanding them.
Hey man, look. Speculate. Don't put no weight. Speculate. No weight. That's it. Speculate. No weight.
That's it. So Sharonda, now that we've got you here, give us your overall thoughts on the finale itself. How did you feel about it? Were you satisfied? Go there with us.
Now y'all know I was editing the video. How did I feel about the finale? I mean, just the finale, not the season.
Yeah, just the finale for now. Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. It was cool. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it was great seeing Sam. I mean, damn, it took 6 damn episodes to get him to take the shield. But is he still look cool? I don't know how in the hell Sam held this truck from falling. I still
that was those rocket
the physics went out the window. I'm gonna chalk that up to Wakanda gear. I'm just gonna say Wakanda gear.
No, it was the rocket boosters. If you see what they showed again, he had the rocket boosters flared up. They had fired up and going.
He was holding it. He was grunting as if he was using literally the strength from Zeus to hold that truck up. I was just sitting. I laughed that whole scene. I know that was like the hero scene. I laughed the whole time because I was like, "Now you know his black ass can hold this truck up."
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I bought it.
Now y'all know y'all cannot buy that, but overall,
he was channeling the power of the ancestors.
He had
God.
he had two red wing thingies.
Yeah,
I understand that he had that. That still don't make no sense, but it is what it is.
I'm not a physicist, so I don't know.
But I did like the thing that stood out most to me, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I shed a couple of thug tears. It's been an emotional when Isaiah finally got his justice. I did cry. I ain't gonna lie, I cried because I didn't have no makeup on, so I could just let it out without messing up anything. But I like that aspect of it. But then the whole thing of trying to like black explain, diversity explain to the white man about, don't you see what you're doing? I was just like, nah.
To be fair, that is straight from the comics, because the one difference that Sam Wilson has as Captain America, because Steve never really wanted to get into politics, you know.
Nope.
He wanted to kind of stay out of that. But Sam, because of his informed background, you know, I mean, in the comics, he was like,
he's a Negro. Because he's a Negro.
That part.
Okay.
But in the comimics, I think it was like during the press conference.
You sure you didn't say he was colored?
That's true. They were like, colored man explain racism in 3 minutes.
I mean, but then again, who's reading? Who's reading it?
Right.
You can also take that into consideration, because think about the fact that they even came up with this concept to make a black man Captain America. They did that with all the intention that other non-black people are going to read that and they're going to feel some type of way. So I think Marvel, even from the comics, they wanted it to be a teachable moment. And that's kind of what Sam was always doing. You know, that was what he was doing while he was Captain America. So, I mean, you know, this was just straight from the comics, really.
I agree with Sharon on that one, though. Like I think you said you liked it at first, Lamont, but for me, it was kind of cheesy, kind of cheeseball-y, you know.
It sounded like an after-school special.
Yeah, it was his delivery. It was the delivery.
It's just like, all right, here you go. You know, here's the spotlight. And I was like, oh. But I have to say, I did cry too when the tear didn't fall, but they did build up. You know,
watery.
When it did get watery. However, I don't know, man. I kind of feel some type of way about it, man. I feel like they put his exhibit like around the back corner by the room closet, you know, to the side, you know, in the dark. I'm like, why can't he be in the middle of the spotlight with everybody else, with the rest of the Highland Commandos? They put him around the corner in the back where it's dust gathering and stuff. I don't know. That's just me on that.
Okay, Sharonda, you have a fan, Sweet November. We appreciate the super chat. She loves seeing you to keep Larry in check. I don't think nobody can keep Larry in check.
No.
But
uncheckable.
I would like to relive this scene, and then I want to get Larry's take on it, because this was really what I was hoping to see the whole season. I think we all wanted to see it.
Now they'll never forget what you did for this country. Never.
Larry.
Damn it, man. Why you play that? Like, it just got me right back in.
I must be the only one that's just got a concrete heart or something, because I just was not feeling all emotional like that when I saw it. I mean, I looked at it and I thought, okay, this is cool. I'm glad they're giving him his recognition, but it was. I mean, I already knew what was coming. I mean, we knew it was coming. They've been building up to that for the whole season. It wasn't like I felt like they needed to present it in such a way that there was a little bit more of a meaningful reveal than just him saying, I want to show you something, and taking him to the museum. I mean, I would have rather have been something where Isaiah had reluctantly fought by Sam's side, you know, because he still had his super soldier strength. I would have really loved to see him have to reluctantly fight by Sam's side, where he's basically like, I'm done with the Stars and Stripes. I'm not fighting for this country anymore. But because he doesn't want to see Sam go out, he has to fight. And then maybe he could have, like in the comics, he pushed him there in a wheelchair. That would have been great if he was forced to fight, and then he's all broken up and in a wheelchair, and then Sam rolls him in and shows him. Then maybe it would have had some more meaning. But it just, I'll tell you, the parts that were supposed to be emotional in this just fell flat for me. Like that, the whole speech that Sharonda was and Brandon were saying didn't really work for them. It just some of the parts that were supposed to be emotional here just they felt flat. The part that I found that was the most emotional part for me that really resonated was the scene when Karli got killed and he took her up. That was probably the most emotional part of this whole series, really.
That's because you like Karli.
I do like Karli, but it was more than that. It was sort of like this contrast of good and bad of you, not good and bad, but like the people who want to do stuff. It's sort of like the Malcolm and Martin thing, where it's like you have the one person who's saying, "Nah, we're going to do this by any means necessary," and the other people are saying, "No, let's try and do it within the confines of the system," And both of them want each other to succeed, but they don't want, one side's like, no, we have to do this the right way. The other side's like, if your way works, great. I don't care because I just want the end result, but I'm going to keep doing my thing. So, I mean, I felt bad in that moment, but that was the only part that really resonated with me. The part with the museum, it was nice, but I saw it coming. Didn't really care when I saw it. So,
okay.
I'm glad he got his shine, though. I'm not bad. I'm glad he got his shine.
Can we talk about Zemo blowing up people while he's in jail? I mean, he told Bucky that he wasn't going to let super soldiers live, and he sent his damn butler out there to blow these guys up. B. Avery, get the floor back. How did you feel about Zemo while he's in the raft, having his butler blow up the rest of the super soldiers? Who we got left? Nobody but Isaiah and Bucky now.
And U.S. Agent.
Yeah,
and U.S. Agent.
I was sad and happy that they died. They're nameless, and so I really didn't care too much. I was trying to care for them, but I do appreciate the consistency of Zemo's character and the code that he sticks to, as far as him hating super soldiers and wanting to wipe them all out. And it just kind of just shows how sinister he is, and just how willing, how far his reach is. He's at the raft, but he's still able to orchestrate assassinations, like that. So I thought it was cool for his character, and pretty consistent. So I was cool with it.
E-Man, how do you feel? I think we're seeing the beginning of the Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right there from the raft.
Yeah, and, that's who runs the raft? Thunderbolt Ross. So that's the collection of the supervillains and stuff. We go on the Suicide Squad route. Of course, that's something that's going to happen, and more often than not, whatever transpires in Black Widow might give us a little bit more information about that. But yeah, Zemo having the Russian Alfred take out the super soldiers. Come on, man, that was already in the works. Like, I've been saying it from the jump. You can't have too many super soldiers. Like, the moment they came on the scene, I don't know if I said it here in my breakdown or wherever. I was saying you can only have Steve Rogers, maybe Bucky, and maybe U.S. Agent or something. But outside of that, everybody's gonna die. You got a whole scientist that can recreate the same super soldier serum. You got to die. Like, you got other people running around with the stuff in the event. You got to die. And guess what? There was one left that fell in the river or whatever. Right. Zemo gonna kill them too. They gonna die too. I don't know when, but they're gonna die. So, like, again, you cannot have all these super soldiers running around. They all gonna die, and Zemo's gonna make sure of that. Shout out to Zemo, because my man has been playing chess while everyone's playing checkers.
He has. Sharonda, we haven't had opportunity to have you on these reviews. So how did you think of Zemo's character on this series in general?
First of all, that's because y'all didn't invite me.
Oh.
Now you act like Sharon Carter.
100.
You got a phone too, and I'm always inviting you somewhere, and usually you don't show up. So after a man tries so many times, you learn your lesson. If a chick don't return your text messages,
y'all still rolling with this excuse, knowing that I work 4 jobs and I was just on the line last night. You sent me a text, got a response.
Y'all Sharon Carter her?
Yes, you finally started.
Y'all Sharon Carter her. I can't believe it.
I'm out of this. Go ahead, Sharon. I'm out.
Get your shield back up, bro. Get your shield back up.
Yeah, I'm here telling the truth tonight. Zemo goes Zemo. Like,
that's
I wouldn't be shocked by it. I mean, that's who he is. I mean, he's a weasel, but he gets stuff done.
So do you like the character, or you don't really care for him?
I liked him more on the series just because he had time to have more personality than what we saw in the previous films. So I actually did enjoy him more in the Falcon and Winter Soldier than the previous movies. Yeah. Okay. He's more in the movies just because all he's doing is torturing people, but he has personality. I like him. He's a villain I can hang out with. We could chill.
Yeah.
We could go together, but
for somebody that can't fight, you know, he has a strong presence, you know. So.
Yeah.
Well, we can't have this episode without talking about U.S. Agent. Golly.
Can we just talk about how he basically slipped in there? He said Black Lives Matter.
He tried it. What you mean Lamar's life don't matter?
But here's the problem with that. Larry, this was your girl Karli talking about Black lives don't matter or Battlestar lives don't matter. That's your girl Karli, who looked like she has a tad of black in her and got the nerve to be up there.
Her dad is Jamaican.
Well, there you go. Well, she got a lot of black in her. And she up there saying his life didn't matter to her or her cause. Larry, you get first dibs on that. What's up with your girl?
Yeah, I think I think like a lot of people outside of the US, they don't see race in the same way. I think a lot of people tend to be more tribal, you know, where there's other things that separate them versus just race. And so I think when she looked at Battlestar, I don't think she saw him as a black man per se. Not that she didn't recognize he was black, but she saw him more so. She saw the uniform, you know. That's what she saw. She saw an oppressor. She saw the uniform and an oppressor, and that's what she was focused on. I don't think it had anything to do with her trying to say that his life didn't matter because he was black. I think that was sort of the double, the double meaning they were putting out there with the words, but that was not the intent behind what she was saying.
Wait,
I think she was
really
just saying.
that way?
I think she was just saying,
there was
look,
some that
Lamar was
did.
insignificant. He was a U.S. soldier. He was in here. He was in my way, and his life was insignificant. So I wasn't trying to kill him, because she even said, I wasn't trying to kill him. I wasn't trying to kill people that don't matter. He doesn't matter to me. He was just some peon, you know. I don't think it had anything to do with race in that sense. It just happened to be that he was a peon, and he got in the way, so he got killed.
Now they should be ashamed of themselves for whoever tried to make this something about race. Because I
can't make this up.
She's been clear since the beginning of time that she only kills when it's for the cause. That's it. When it's something that's going to get attention, obviously that's just proving the whole Black Lives Matter thing, because I'm not finna kill your black ass because clearly they don't care about y'all. So I need to only kill people that will affect the cause, which is why she had that bombing, which is why, she was going to kill all of those diplomats.
Anyone else care to speak on somebody's subscribers bringing up issues of race amongst Karli?
That's silly.
I mean, I think it was just subtext. That's all. I think it was just one of those things where, like, if we were to look at what the characters, their motivations, what they're saying and stuff, no, they're not talking about race. Now, are the writers trying to drop a little wink, wink, wink in there? Sure. That's more than likely, because it did feel very deliberate to be like, what do you mean Lamar's life didn't matter? Right. It felt very, very intentional. So, even though for them on the surface level, they didn't mean it, I'm pretty sure the subtext was, yes, this is a call or a reference to Black Lives Mattering and so on and so forth. But,
backstory? Like, who y'all talking about? Why y'all trying to be cute? Who y'all talking about?
What are you talking about?
Whose subscriber said that?
Lamont?
One of my subscribers was in here talking about that.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah,
this is one of those things that bugs me about writers when they try and act like they're being subtle, but they whack you over the head with stuff like that. I'm like, if you're gonna be that obvious with it, then just come out and say it. Otherwise, be truly subtle with it. But I get what they're saying. I understand why they do it, because when it comes to issues of race, white people, if you just don't make it blunt they often don't get it. But in that sense, I really feel like they should have just come out and just said Black Lives Matter and been done with it.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line, especially when you're talking about like trying to be creative. I mean, because then either you're going to be accused of being like overly, cheesy or corny with it. But then if you try and be too,
have you not seen the comments? They're already accusing them of it. It doesn't matter what they say.
I know. I know. I mean,
so you might as well just you might as well just come right out with it. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you can do both. I mean,
either truly just smack people over the head and say the words directly, or allow your full creative side to come out and truly be subtle. But some people just aren't going to get it, and other people are going to be like, "Oh, did he just say that?"
Right.
Because the way they did it right here, we were like, "Oh, yeah, okay, right. Duh, treat us like we're fifth graders."
No, I totally get it. I mean, but the show kind of does both, though, right? Like the police, scene in episode 2. We knew that it was implicit bias. Mm-hmm. Clearly, the fact that some report said that like 80% of Disney Plus subscribers stopped watching the episode or something at that point. Clearly, they got it, But then even when you go to Sam's speech, he comes right out and says it. I'm a black man wearing the stars and stripes, I'm not some blonde hair, blue eyed, this, and this, and I know millions of people are not going to. He comes right out with it. So the show is doing like this balancing act of, because before I want to say episode 5, they've been Larry, me and you, we talked about this. They've been dancing around the race stuff for a minute. They would put it in from other characters here and there, but it wasn't until episode 5 and 6 that Sam just hit it straight on, and they just hit the ground running with it. So, it's just one of those creative balances I think that's going on.
Right.
Patrick got it. Patrick Tyler got it.
What happened?
I like his comment. People said white people get it. I agree.
Oh yeah. If they get it enough to be mad, you get it. You get it.
Right. Yeah, if you're bothered by it, you know what it is. Yeah. So I guess I just didn't like the way that the writers did it. I mean, I liked episode 5. I thought episode 5 was great. Episode 6, I just felt like it was one of those. I mean, the episode was okay. I just didn't like the speech. To me, just really just fell flat. It was just more I don't know, man. There was just so many other ways that they could have done this. I know Malcolm Spellman is a talented writer, and I know he could have done this in just a much, much better way. And to see it be so just, I don't felt like I don't want to diss them, but it felt juvenile and adolescent, like the way they presented it. It seemed that they presented it in a very less than mature manner.
Larry, I ain't mad at you for that, but let me ask you how you feel. Like, there was reports online that a lot of the story changed than they originally had planned because of the pandemic. You think that really had an effect on the writing, and it could have turned out better for you? If that
why? Because you can't write when you're at home?
I don't know.
I can't wait till people stop using this damn excuse. I'm so sick of restaurants. Everybody in every industry blaming everything on COVID. I'm sorry your service sucks. It's because of COVID. I'm sorry the script sucks. It's because of COVID. We gotta stop letting them get away with that. We're not gonna use that. We're not gonna let them that because they be silly.
The only time it's a valid excuse is when there was a writer strike. Y'all remember them writer strikes?
Yeah, I remember that.
Died. Heroes died. 4400 died. I mean, The Wire left. It was still one of the top shows. Died because of the writer strike. That's the only thing I say. Like, okay, y'all got new writers, new team, creative differences, whatever. But being in COVID, like, if you don't have more time to focus, get out of here.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I don't know how a writer could use that as an excuse.
But you also don't know what Malcolm submitted versus what they actually let him keep in.
No, you're right. Because they could have just simply said, no, sorry, that's too black. And we can't make that. No, go back and rewrite it. So they could have done that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that they finally approved was what we got on screen, which I thought was lacking.
Well, let me ask you this, because I think you've been the most disappointed since we've been talking each week about the writing of Black issues. Are you happy with him coming back for more as a writer, Malcolm, or would you rather see somebody else come in?
This is what I would like to see. If they're gonna bring him back, I would like for them to bring him back and say, look, this show was a success. Give us more, and we're going to give you more creative freedom. We want you to give us more of that raw, uncut that you wanted to have in the first place, but we rolled you back. We dialed you back on. We want you to give us more of that raw, uncut. If they're going to do that, then sure, come on back. Bring them back. Otherwise, it's basically just a CW show.
Can you highlight Shelly's comment? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think that they did. I think more of this is from Malcolm, mainly because you can't have this story that literally was created to deal with race and not talk about race. Like, it would just be completely counterproductive if Marvel was like, yo, this one story that actually digs deep into race, we need you to kind of
race out
back. You know, like, so
I mean, if that's the case, then no. I mean, if that's the case, if they didn't handcuff him,
right, and
then I'm going to probably say, nah, maybe they should bring in somebody else.
I think they did handcuff him.
Huh?
Yeah, I would say they did. I mean, just even talking to Malcolm, he's very pro-black.
Yeah.
And from what I saw on the screen to actually having a conversation with him, I really think that it's Disney, y'all. They're not finna let people really be truthful about racism. I mean, they even try to do it in a way. We didn't focus that much on Sam's race. Like, we had like a quick racial profiling scene and then Isaiah tell his story. But really, the biggest part of race that we got into is really just talking about the refugees, which relates to the overarching issue of the most acceptable discussion that we have in regards to racism in America. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is very on brand for a Disney show. Yep. And how they handled the whole situation. I didn't feel like I was going to get some blackety black ass show. You
weren't getting Empire or whatever he was writing for. No,
I wanted a show that made people uncomfortable in moments. I wanted a show that where people watched it and the next day they weren't sure how they felt about their situation anymore. They were like, "Oh damn, wait a minute." I wanted people uncomfortable.
They were.
I get that. Those are conversations that need to happen.
What's they uncomfortable?
The police scene. I'm telling people were sitting there. I'm unsubscribing. I literally had people. I literally had people unsubscribe from my channel. Leave me comments saying like this is getting too political. I mean, they were stupid.
No, they weren't saying that.
People that matter, though. Those people don't matter.
I have people that unsubscribe from my channel because I wore a Black Lives Matter shirt. And they say, "Oh, that's too political." I'm like, dude, I'm wearing a shirt and I'm talking about a tech tutorial, and you're up there talking politics, saying you're going to unsubscribe. Be out. Those people are ridiculous. Those are the people that if you even bring up the fact that you are black.
Right,
they are going to say that's too political, and they're unsubscribing. You can't please those people no matter what, so they don't count to me.
I feel you.
They don't, as Karli said, they don't matter.
No, like I said, the fact that they talked about race for the show, not just because I brought it up. There are people that are out there that have been rubbed the wrong way. They don't want the politics. They don't want this to be so woke with Marvel, and they've been like, tuning out and complaining on Twitter and stuff. And I mean, again, we knew that was going to happen. That's what happened when the comic came out. When the comic for Captain America came out, people was doing the same complaining. It was the same thing.
Man, this is the thing that bothered me about this is that I understand when you're making a franchise movie and it's going to be a big $1 billion movie. I understand that you want to go sort of generically vanilla because you're not just talking about issues that deal with the U.S. You're talking about a global audience, and you try and make the story that's appealing to a more broad global audience. But from my understanding, the Disney shows were not supposed to have those sort of shackles on them, that they were supposed to be able to just sort of let loose and do their thing. And I feel like we didn't get that here.
Agreed. And I was gonna say they had the handcuffs on Black Panther because they cut the CIA scene out when Okoye was.
E-Man, you laughing at the comment?
I'm sorry, the comment.
It's ridiculous.
Like why?
It's ridiculous.
Black people love grace.
I don't
They
know
do.
why.
Black people
Why?
love Grace.
Why?
They do.
Is
I
it
don't know who
aesthetic?
she is.
What is it?
It's
love-
that
black
voice.
people love Grace.
It's that voice. She talks. She changes her voice. She do
She
these
does?
wacky things. Yeah, she do these wacky things. They like that stuff. It's like
she
I
does that
don't
on
know who
purpose?
she is.
yeah, she does that on purpose.
Bro, I thought she had like a mental thing.
I don't have
Okay.
issues with Grace like everybody else, but I
Okay.
think this is just a side note.
Mhm.
I just wish that all the black people in the world that follow Grace would follow black creators. That's all I'm
That'd
saying.
be awesome.
That's all I'm saying. But I'm just it's a
Is
lot
she a
of
black woman or a white woman?
No,
She's-
come on.
she-
man.
she-
Grace
she's
Randolph.
blonde. She's
She's
blonde.
super
blonde,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she's blonde.
Well, I don't know because because white folks love when black people speak out against race. When all of a sudden you take their side and act like you want to get up there and cupcake for the overseer. White people love that and will follow the hell out of you for that. And so I don't know. That's why I was like, I don't know if she's white or black. I don't know who she is. So.
She's the YouTube unicorn. Where oh my gosh, a white woman. I don't even know if people find her attractive or not, but she's talking about movies and nerd stuff, and boom, attraction.
I mean, but some of her stuff is good. She breaks like her movie math and how she breaks certain things down from an industry standpoint. I'm not gonna hate on Grace like everybody else does because she has built a huge platform. All I'm saying is Grace has said a lot of crazy things about black people, and black people still love to follow her. Especially when she compared Black Panther to Roots, said that Disney paid China to award Chadwick Boseman with an award for like best actor, like most popular actor. And so the fact that like black people really stand for her, it baby.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm indifferent. I don't know.
She does work hard. I'm not a fan of hers, but she does work hard, and she was one of the first YouTubers doing this. So
yeah,
I can't. Yeah,
she be having some outlandish comments, but
yeah,
she does have good. She does have good content, but she is probably the most hated.
You know who else works hard? Vladimir Putin.
Huh?
Do you know who else works hard? Vladimir Putin. Working hard doesn't mean jack shit. You can work hard and still be an ass. You can still be bad. I'm not respecting your hard work just because you work hard. There's a lot of people who work hard and they work hard for the wrong reasons and putting out wrong energy.
I mean, I don't think that's the case with her. I'm just
she's got a lot of bad moments, and I've seen her do some work off the TVs, off the YouTube screen, and you would think that she would have some wokeness, but she doesn't. And the interview she gave, there is no woke in this chick whatsoever. I don't think she's racist, so don't say that I'm saying she's racist. It's not that. But at some point in time, you do have to enlighten yourself to things that are prevalent to the audiences that are following you. And if you got African Americans that follow you, you need to be privileged to understand, have a greater knowledge of the plight they're dealing with. Hey, and she doesn't have that part.
So, hey, I don't care if you white and liberal. Sometimes they be problematic too.
Oh, for real.
Sometimes, but that's part of the problem.
I'm completely indifferent on Grace, just to set the record straight. Like, I don't watch her channel. The only thing I've heard is everything y'all have said online about her. So I don't go checking for her. I'm not throwing her under a bus. But yeah,
I only watch her movie math because I'm really into box office stuff. That's the because she does good box office rundown.
She has good aspects of her channel. I'm not going. Hey, she has a large following, and she's been in movies now. Like I'm still gonna give credit to where credit is due. Yeah. I'm just saying there are some problematic things that are said, particularly when it comes to race, or also too for women. So yeah, it's.
I just think as black people, we have to be careful about who we support because, like I know Lamont, you said as a creator, you should start to pay attention to some of the issues that affect your followers and whatever. But the problem is we know that white people don't necessarily care about our issues, and even if we patronize them, we've seen stuff with different brands. Like I don't know if you remember years ago, Guess came out. I forgot the dude who made Guess jeans. He was basically said, I don't make my jeans for black people.
Hilfiger.
Yeah, And you know, Gucci said the same thing. There's a number of these people that said, I don't want these people buying my stuff. It's degrading my brand. I don't want to see my brand in rap videos and on the backs of drug dealers and all this other stuff. And so they don't care if we patronize their business and buy their products. They don't care. And so we need to be careful about who we support. If they're saying racist stuff, we need to dip out of there. You know,
you're right. Yeah,
we need, just like we pull our money out of places, we need to pull our views away from people too.
Right on.
Let me finish you guys off on Falcon Winter Soldier. Let me shout out all the subscribers. We've got 160 in the building. Please be sure to subscribe, like this video, subscribe to all the people on this lovely panel. They're in the video description. They're on my related channels. Did Bucky really need to go tell the daddy that he killed his son? I'll start that one with you, Sharonda. Could he not have let sleeping dogs lie?
No, because I think that it would be worse for him not to tell him and to let him continue going on each day trying to figure out what happened to his son. It wasn't the closure that he needed. It was the closure that his victim's father needed. And I think that was for part of him. Like when he's telling him you're trying to avenge by being nice to him and being his friend and hanging out with him, but really you need to tell him what happened to his child. That I think that's exactly what he needed to do to have that final closure.
Oh, good point. B. Avery, what'd you think about that?
Oh yeah, I thought it was absolutely necessary. I would have been disappointed if he didn't tell him. That was very important. Only letdown I had is I wanted them to draw that scene out. I mean, he told him, but we really didn't get a reaction from Nori. It was just like, you know, oh okay, and then you know he sees him at the bar, the restaurant with the other chick that he went on that date with. So it was a nice build up. I was like, oh man, here we are. You know, like, man, it's gonna be hard. How you gonna tell him? You know, is he gonna swing on you? You know, whatever. So it was a cool scene. I was just kind of disappointed because they didn't really show Yuri's reaction. You know, he just left the house. Okay. You know, so that kind of sucked.
E-Man, how'd you feel about the scene?
No, that's exactly how I felt, because I mean, again, you have that scene back to back with Isaiah's scene, you know, with Sam, and I'm like, yo, like we didn't. Y'all just cut that 30 seconds. 30 more seconds would have done wonders right there, you know. And I mean, that was a scene that I think a lot of us were anticipating was going to happen. And I was so appreciative that Sam gave him that strong counselor advice that we've also been waiting on. Because like I've been saying, that is Sam's superpower, is to give counseling advice, you know. But you know, that moment, you know, like to Sharonda's point, like it was critical. It had to happen, you know, because through that motion, I mean, from the very first episode, we saw Bucky just going through the motions. All right, my name is James, you know, yeah, you off my list. All right, have a nice day. You know, I've made amends with you. You know, that ain't, bro, you ain't doing nothing, you know. But now the fact that he can like be of service by giving closure to, you know, to Yuri and to other people, that in return gives him a feeling of fulfillment. It also gives him a feeling of accomplishment and purpose. So I love the fact that they were doing that, because that's something that, you know, I think a lot of us also have to keep in mind, is that when we're looking for closure for ourselves, sometimes we can't find it within. Sometimes it comes through our actions. It comes through external things that we do, you know, and again, like Sam said, do the work, you know. So I love the scene, but yeah, it was definitely rushed. They could have given me an extra 30 seconds with them, like really just, I mean, come on now, they're actors. Let the actors act. You know what I'm saying? Let them show us the emotion. We've been waiting for that moment, and y'all just kind of chopped it up. And I thought we were kind of robbed there a little bit.
So you would have been cool if they would have got rid of the scene of Bucky standing outside the bar and replaced it with him and Yuri having a discussion, letting the emotion out.
No, you don't have to subtract. Just give me more. Just give me that scene. Because I like the fact that we saw that moment of not only Yuri feeling at peace, like he's not at the bar crying like he was before, right? He's like, actually, we see the fact that the closure worked for him. And I like the fact that we saw that moment with Bucky, because now Bucky finds peace too. He found peace by seeing that Yuri was at peace. So that was definitely important. I wouldn't want to take that away.
Gotcha. Larry, what'd you think about it?
Yeah, I I was fine with it. I didn't need to see the scene. I didn't need to see them having a conversation and see Yuri's reaction in the moment. I was happy with the way they played it out, because ultimately the important thing was not so much Yuri's response. It was really more how it affected Bucky, and we saw how it affected Bucky. Bucky, after he did that, he was free. He was completely unburdened. And if you noticed, after he told Yuri and all that, he stopped wearing his gloves. He was out there and he was freely out there saying, this is just me. And even though he had the arm, he didn't let before he felt like the arm sort of defined him, like he was still burdened with this Winter Soldier arm. Mm-hmm. And now he has the gloves off and he's sort of just like, yeah, it's just a part of me now. It's not, this is who I used to be, which kind of makes me wonder, what are they going to call him in the next show? Because he said, even to Yuri, he said, that's who I was. He said, so was that again?
White Wolf.
White Wolf.
Yeah, I hope so.
But I feel like Larry brings up, this is my main issue of the show. You don't learn anything more about Falcon, about Sam or Bucky than when we started the series. I felt as though that this should have been an exploration of their characters and actually giving the characters time to grieve Steve, to grieve the past, the whole blip years of everything that has happened, for Bucky to finally have the time to reconcile with everything that he did as the Winter Soldier. I would have rather watched his whole journey in Wakanda and stuff. Like, I would have been,
that would have been dope
watching that journey. I just felt like everything, these extra characters that they added in, they were just filler. And
I think they were nervous. Like, they were just like, I don't know if Bucky and Sam are interesting enough.
They don't do the show.
I agree. Don't get me look. For the longest time, I've been complaining that the fact that, like, Sam is the title #1 build character. Why are we not learning anything about him or from him?
About him.
My man ain't even have a single flashback. He couldn't have a flashback.
We learn more about Bucky than
we learn more about Bucky.
And Sam's supposed to be the headliner.
Yeah, we saw more of Zemo's humanity and personhood than we did of anybody. I'm sitting there like, he like number 6 on the list.
I'm sorry.
I would have liked to learn a little bit more. I would have liked to see him run into an ex-girlfriend, or
Bucky said he had sisters. Why
pull out an old Letterman's jacket or something? I mean, I would have liked to see something more about his past.
And it's not to say that they didn't do anything with the characters. They did. They were Bucky was battling his PTSD and his personal trauma. And basically at the end of all that, he got out of it. That's Bucky's story right there. Sam, on the other hand, he started off with this. Well, he didn't want to acknowledge the race stuff. It was more of like, I'm not worthy of the shield. And then after his encounter with Isaiah, then he started to include the race stuff. And then after that, he was like, okay, this is the Captain America. I'm going to be black and proud, free as can be.
Go ahead, B.
I disagree with all 4 of y'all. Like, I feel like they did everything y'all said they didn't do with his family, with what he feels is important to him as far as the boat is concerned. I mean, you're talking about you wanted to see an old ex-girlfriend. You got to see his whole family. You got to see.
He got a family.
We got to see his family right now. We didn't get to learn anything about who he was in the past. Like we don't know anything about how.
What other character in the MCU have you known about their past or their childhood? Like,
but that's the whole point of these shows is to explore that.
Wanda. We went through Wanda's whole childhood. We literally went through her life. We went through Wanda's
because they had to do with the development of her abilities. The plot of her story was, how did she come up with the powers?
No. The whole point of WandaVision was to show how she became the Scarlet Witch. That's a whole point. It's an origin story, which means the whole point of this show should have been, and I do believe that was the intention, was the journey of how Sam was going to become Captain America. We knew he was going to be Captain America. It was just, how was he going to get there? Why was he going to get there? I would have loved to know, like Larry said, why did he join the military? Why did you become a counselor?
To address what you just said. That's why Isaiah Bradley was there. That is the launching point of him becoming Captain America.
It took 5 episodes.
He was in 3. What do you mean?
What about all the other stuff that we could have learned about Sam? We could have learned, like, why did he join the military? Was he always super smart and a great athlete? Because why was he selected for this extremely, elite program?
His partner that died.
Right. I mean, there's so much of his background that we wanted to know that they could have just they could have given us an episode, an episode, and they could have gone over a lot of this. And instead they gave us nothing, basically nothing.
Like I said, we got more flashbacks for other characters than we did for Sam.
Let me ask you guys this, and maybe this will crystallize it. Out of all the characters from this show, B. Avery, who do you feel the most invested in from this season?
Now, Sam.
Right now.
After the season finale, Sam. Like all of y'all have great art, like because I think we've had these, or y'all have had these same arguments each week. We've talked about this, and I even remember myself. Okay, at the end of episode 4, Lamar, I remember you saying that. Well, actually, all of y'all that Sam.
I wasn't invited, so I'm not in that.
Man, chill out,
Sharon. Power broker, Sharon.
You made me forget what I was going to say. Like, damn.
Everybody previously brought up.
Yes, that Sam was taking the back seat in his own show. I even heard other creators saying the same thing, like, aka white people. But I think that he really came through in these past 2 or 3 episodes, especially with Isaiah, of showing his mental state, how he sees the world versus his peers. And to me, that just really developed his character. But I mean, I'm satisfied as far as that's concerned, the development of his character. I mean, like, I feel like we don't know everything about Sam, but I feel like I know more about him now prior to when the show started. What was that?
No, I said that was the point. Like, that was what I mean. You're right. You're totally right. These last 2 episodes, it was almost like we just went leaps and bounds and learned more about Sam. But my thing is, like, there are 6 episodes. You're the lead character. You're supposed to be the franchise player, and we over here talking about 2 episodes. 2 episodes for us to really dig deep into you.
I'm working out what y'all saying y'all learned about him, though. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
His sister. I mean, I get what B. Avery's coming from.
Sister, and his mama and daddy was nice. That's all
we got to see how his whole hometown feels about him as a man. Like
the last couple of minutes of the season finale.
That was in episode 1 and 2.
Right. So his hometown
when he was at the dock and talking about the boat, his whole family was there the whole time. Those old black men and all of that.
Right. B. Avery. So his family, his parents were great and the town loved him. So why did he want to leave and go to the military?
Because
he see them.
Because that was in episode 1 because his sister Sarah was like, I'll go back and watch it, but she was like, why
she accused him of always running away, and what are you running away from?
Oh, I mean, bro, that's a normal human trope, bro. People are always running for something for unknown reasons because they have some type of insecurity.
No, they're not unknown when you're telling a story. Because you're the writer, you can tell us whatever, you can make it whatever it is you want it, but you need to make it something. Tell us why he's leaving. Why'd he leave? Why'd he stay gone?
I mean, here's the question.
I thought the answer to that I just don't remember, but
here's the problem. The problem is not the fact that we didn't know anything. It's about how much we got. We did not get that much. Like I said, when you look at WandaVision, we know her entire struggle. We know everything about her. Forget the powers. Take the powers out of this. We know this woman. We know her from her childhood, how her bond with her brother and her family. We know about her motivations, her connection with Vision. We know what she's like without Vision. We knew all of this. That was a whole character arc that was fully fleshed out for one character. That's what we were hoping for with this series for Sam.
I feel we got it. That before y'all saying it about WandaVision, they retold the same story we already knew. We already knew her parents got killed when she was young from Asia Ultron. Like, we knew all of this stuff. We knew that she did.
They filled in the gaps. They filled
it all over again. Just filled out. So if they took the time to retell us a story that we had already went through in the movies, and you couldn't give me nothing extra with Sam, that's a problem. I mean,
did Sam get mad in this series?
No, because
No.
who wants to be an angry black man?
He can't be an angry black man.
He got mad at Bucky when he didn't know that there was a black super soldier and charged him up in the street.
That was true.
Yeah.
You know,
frustrated though. Yeah.
But what was the purpose of saying they had black super soldiers? What did that change?
They didn't hold on. They didn't say that. Because Sam kept it only on Isaiah. That now in the comics, it was black super soldiers and all that.
No, he said that.
Isaiah said it.
He said that. He said
They
that
said it.
him and the whole team had
Yeah.
everyone.
That's why he got in trouble. He went in and rescued them.
That's why
I
they
don't
didn't
recall-
him. Everyone
Go
else
back-
died.
Go back and watch it. I don't recall him ever calling them all
Baby,
black.
I bet my whole life on it. That's
Okay.
how I know he said it. He
Okay.
said everyone else died but him. It had
They did. I'm just saying, I don't think he went back and said that my boys, you know, the people that he served with, he didn't identify them as all black. That's all. Even though it was in the comics.
Nah, if you know he a Negro, he wasn't with nobody else but some other Negro. Come on.
Maybe he had some Latino brothers and all.
This was supposed to be in the Korean. This was supposed to be in the Korean War, right?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
So if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't until the end of the Korean War that they integrated the troops. So his units were going to be black.
But this is still besides the point. Us knowing about Isaiah changed what to the story?
It was a black regime. Y'all right.
Yeah, it was black.
It awoke into sleeping John and Sam to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
yeah, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, y'all right.
It didn't do. I felt like that was just to make it a black show, to make it like Tuskegee and kind of have those undertones. Yeah. But it did nothing to move the plot outside of getting Sam to take the shield, which you still didn't need his story in order for Sam to do that or come to that conclusion.
I respectfully disagree.
You don't think they needed Isaiah's story to push Sam?
No.
I don't know. I think you did.
Isaiah told him not to take the shield, so his advice didn't matter. His interaction with him, didn't matter?
But you remember the conversation he was having with Sarah at the episode 5, like, "Hey, you're not going to let this black man dictate what you do or whatever, and not fight anymore."
Correct. But Sam still didn't want the shield when the series started. So, with whether or not of Isaiah's. Him learning about Isaiah, like that whole arc could have been taken out, and Sam still didn't want the shield.
No,
you need it. Hold on.
I get what Sharon is saying in this sense, because what I think ultimately what the sentiment is that Sam had to come to the decision to wield the shield, and it wasn't even though Isaiah helped him along that story arc, it wasn't necessary. It could have been something else that helped Sam get to that point. It didn't have to be Isaiah, but it was Isaiah.
No, I disagree. Mainly because it was important of what Isaiah told him straight up. He was like, "Yo, I used to be just like you."
But Isaiah didn't tell him. Bucky told him. Bucky was the reason he knew.
That doesn't matter.
No. I get that. I get that. I'm just saying, if it wasn't for Isaiah, Sam probably would have continued being blind same way that Isaiah was saying, I used to be idealistic just like you. I used to be colorblind just like you.
100%.
Until I woke up and I changed. Now, the difference, though, is Sam gets to see the end result of what happened to Isaiah. He got to see, like, man, you that old bitter black man, as he would put it. And that's not what Sam wants to be. But at the same time, he can't ignore that. He can't ignore what Isaiah brought to the table. And that's why I said in my video, Isaiah informed Sam of the past. But like Sam has always been idealistic, just like Steve Rogers. He sees the ideals of what America could be, the American dream, all of that. But you can't reconcile both of those things without discounting the other. You have to take both of them into account.
Hold on, E-Man. I don't think he was just informing him of the past. I think he was informing him of what this government still is. And we see parallels of what happened. People are gonna hate me for saying this, but we see parallels of Isaiah's life and John Walker's life. Because the same thing that they did to Isaiah, they did to John Walker. They built him up. They made him this soldier. They put him out there. They gave him the shield, and he made a mistake, and they stripped everything from him.
They ain't throw him in jail for 30 years.
They didn't. No, they didn't do that.
And they didn't torture. They ain't torture.
No, I'm not saying that everything was exactly the same, but I'm saying their stories are running parallel in some respect.
Right.
We don't know. For all we know, he's running around. He's going to run around as the U.S. agent. They could take him and throw him in jail for 30 years. We don't know.
No, they won't do that.
But Larry,
yes, we know the comics, but I'm just saying.
And Larry, something you said earlier, when you saying that it could have been anything. I mean, of course, this is a fictional show. I don't think it's fair, to pick on the fact that they use Isaiah to develop Sam. I mean, for me, that was the whole motivation and launching point, for his development. Is he didn't want to talk about race or take on the shield, but he saw so much brutality that Isaiah went through. Like, wait a minute, my people are not gonna go through all of this BS for nothing, and we just give up and hand over what's rightfully ours. That motivated him. Like, no, I'm gonna keep the fight going and pass this down to my nephews. That's why in episode 5, the training montage, why it was so significant to me when his nephew was doing the outline of the star on the shield or whatever, and so I mean, man, I don't know, that was just perfect for me.
I mean, I'm okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Isaiah was a bad thing. I like having Isaiah in there,
but all I'm seeing is that Sam still had the same internal conflict at the end, like at the beginning of the series. He had the same conflict before we even got to know Isaiah's character.
I don't know. I think his conflict changed because when you look at what he told Rhodey, why'd you give up the shield? It's the same thing he told Bucky. Man, it belonged to Steve. Man, that wasn't me. Like, it was almost like, man, I'm just not worthy, right? But then when he learned from Isaiah of the complicated history and and you're right, Larry, about the fact that this is still persistent, right, with the government. That's when he started to realize, like, wait a minute, people have sacrificed so much for this. Forget about that worthiness. Of course I'm worthy to take up the shield and continue fighting. That's what he told Sarah. He was like, what would be the point if all these people fought, bled, got tortured, put in jail, and did all of this stuff if I did not continue fighting and taking up this shield? So I think it all mattered.
Right.
Big time.
Well, I want to address something so people don't get things just completely twisted. Web Surfer says Zemo, Wand, and John Walker all murdered non-white people and got off. They did not. Zemo, I mean, they pulled him out of jail, and he's back in jail right now. And John Walker was stripped of his his command, kicked out of the military, taken away. They took the shield away from him. So he was punished to some extent, and it was a slap on the wrist. But at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, the dude that he killed was a white European dude. He wasn't a dude of color, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was a white dude. So he did kill somebody, but at the same time, he did it under the authority of the United States government. And so the government, even though they punished him, they weren't going to just straight throw him under the bus. They weren't going to be like, you're locked up forever.
So now that you guys are actually talking about him, we're going to end with John Walker.
Man, I have so much more to talk about. I don't want to end. No.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to continue the conversation like Wednesday or something. I mean, because hell, what else we're gonna do? We ain't got nothing to do till Loki come out. I mean, Marvel. But I want us to talk a little bit about John Walker before I get out of here. What do you guys think is going to go on with him? He's officially U.S. agent. He's got the suit. He's got Val in his corner. And B. Abraham will come to you first. What's up with U.S. agent? He's gotten his graces back with the United States for actually helping Bucky and Sam with the Flag Smashers. And now he's officially U.S. agent, had the gun on his hip. Where are they going to go with this character?
Well, to be honest with you, Lamar, I don't know about the last thing you said, like he's in good graces back with the U.S. government. That was kind of a question I had when he was trying on the suit. I'm like, what the hell is he doing in that office building? I thought they probably didn't want him to show up there anymore. But it's cool. I like the whole Val thing. Julie, what is her name?
Louis Dreyfus. Julia Louis Dreyfus.
Thank you. I'm tripping. I like her. She's cool. I like her energy. I'm just kind of weirded out on, like, he's back in the good graces thing with the U.S. government. He seemed extra friendly and happy, like, yeah, I'm back. But just to back up a little bit, I really did like the fight between him and Karli. That was very well choreographed. I laughed my ass off when he showed up, Karli, and he threw the shield. He threw the shield, and she just kicked it like, what the hell? And it said, clink, clink, and then bounced back. Bro had the look on his face was like, damn, it ain't like the other one, you know, like maybe I should have put a few more hours in putting this thing together, you know what I'm saying? So I was rolling at his facial expression. I like the fight. I like the fact that he tried to save the truck and from falling. That was cool. I was also surprised, and I'm sorry, I just gotta go. I know you're trying to end the show, so I gotta get all this out.
Go ahead.
It was also interesting to me, when he kind of reluctantly teamed up with Bucky and Sam chasing the Flag Smashers. I didn't expect that to happen, but that was cool. And I was like, man, they're not talking. They got to be mature. Like, okay, we got to band together to stop these guys. I really did like the hand-to-hand fighting in this, between the Flag Smashers and John Walker. And I was also laughing my ass off because when they showed the shield and it was all dinged up and the paint was and all, man, I was rolling, bro.
That bootleg Home Depot shield.
Yeah. That was pretty funny to me.
All right, E-Man, jump in there. Thoughts on U.S. Agent, where they're going to go with the character?
I mean, look, even in the comics, John Walker, U.S. Agent, he's an anti-hero. You could think of him kind of like the Punisher. He's not necessarily a bad guy. He's not really like a true blue hero. He just goes about things in a unconventional and usually unacceptable way. So he's not Captain America, but he's like the rogue version of him. And I don't know if I'd say that he's back in the good graces of like the government, but that doesn't mean the government wouldn't want his services. The government has like Val said earlier, if he had done what he had done behind closed doors, it would have been fine. Nobody would have said nothing to him. The government wants effectiveness, but at the same time, they care about optics. So the fact that he's, U.S. agent now, I wouldn't be surprised if like that very same senator, who like chastised them in front of everybody would be like, hey, so we got this secret mission for you, but again, that's where the Thunderbolts may play into it. I don't know if Val is doing something different. Maybe Val is doing the Dark Avengers, and Ross is doing his own Thunderbolt ones. But yeah, I mean, it was, to me, the moment he dropped that aluminum tin can shield on the ground and like started pulling the truck to save the people, because he had to make a decision. It was either go after the Flag Smashers and go on his little crazy rant, or his vent, or save the people and try to be a hero. The moment he did that, I was like, okay, that's the turning point for this dude, where now he's not the crazy Captain Crack. Now he's actually trying to do the right thing and be that all-American hero that, he was built up to be. I mean, that's why you see his medals of honor on his shield. He still believes in the American dream. He still believes in fighting for his country and doing what's right. He's just jacked up about how he goes about it. So I'd say let's just, anticipate more anti-heroism from him. And, and by the way, shout out to Wyatt Russell. My man played the mess out this role, made everybody hate him. That's exactly how the character was designed to be in the first place. He did that. I'm just sad that I can't call him all the names that I had. I still got like 10 more names for the brother, but
real quick, I know I just went. I like his character now, and I hate saying it, but he won me over.
Yeah, I felt bad. B. Avery, I'm with you, because I felt bad when I was like, wait, do I like him now?
Yeah. He has some redeeming qualities this last episode.
Yeah.
What are those redeeming qualities?
He showed up and fought for the right side. He showed up when he showed up. He could have been at home when he saw that stuff. He could have been at home.
No, y'all stop praising this white man.
He could have been out there eating the burger, looking away.
No.
I love it.
If he would have set his ass up 3 episodes ago, when I almost said his real name, when Sam was getting through to Karli, y'all wouldn't have been in this mess. So the way that
he made mistakes, no doubt.
He's so redeeming. Oh, look at this white man. He realized the error of his ways. You're in this entire predicament because of him. because he felt like he was
this has anything to do with race at this point. It's just about one character moving along a path. It's about it's about his character arc.
No, y'all sit up here thanking a man for jumping in and helping them. He should, because they're doing all of this because of his actions. Okay, so that's since when are white people responsible for cleaning up their own messes? Look, y'all praising this man, they cleaning up his mess, and you gonna say, "Oh, thank you, John, for coming."
I'm not praising all the other stuff he did. I'm just saying that he has started to go on along a path of redemption, and I like what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, he's a
I don't know about that redemption because he's associating himself with Val. He doesn't know anything about Val.
Yeah,
well, see, that's the thing. That's a different story because he may feel like he's on a path of redemption, and Val may take him down a very dark road, and that's something else. And so where he goes from here,
making more excuses. So y'all making more excuses. That's what y'all doing. Y'all making more excuses.
No, I'm just simply saying I don't know where he's going from here. He may go down a very dark path. I don't know. I'm not going to ride with him if he's going down a dark path.
She literally just killed people, and you telling me that he don't know she killed people?
I don't know what he knows.
He knows she does not work for the government.
I got a whole blank card.
Yeah,
her
business card is white on one side and black on the other side.
Well, maybe he doesn't know how to read it yet.
I understand. Yeah, Sharonda, all that stuff you said is correct, but I feel like he checked himself doing Sam's speech. And so while he may not be perfect and still may have a lot of problems, all I'm saying is he's turned over a new leaf is what I'm saying. And we'll see what happens.
So y'all saying the same man who was so arrogant that he walked out of the court after they let him keep they gave him an honorable discharge. So
no, they gave him a less than honorable discharge, actually.
But no, they gave him an honorable discharge. However, he had to give up his pensions and his rent. They
gave him a less than honorable.
Sharon, all I'm saying is he's turned around a little bit. Like his motivations have changed. Like he's heading down a different path.
So let me throw one thing, and maybe Lamont can like back me up on this. The one thing I do know is that at least in the comics, they try to show. I'm not saying he's redeemed, but they do try to show a different side, that he's not all bad. He's still problematic, but he's not all bad.
There you go.
And I forgot, there was a moment where I think it was like, I don't know if it was Hydra Cap or the government wanted somebody to set up Sam or to kill him or do something. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, Sam is a good guy. This and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just showed for a moment that he's actually got some morals. And I think they tried to show a glimpse of that while Sam was giving his after school special speech to everybody. And like, you saw John Walker kind of being like, oh, maybe Black lives do matter.
What?
Yeah,
they were giving his "I'm just a bill" on Capitol Hill speech.
Tell me that wasn't that. You know that was that.
They was trying to display, I guess, what he does in the comics as B. Avery said, he liked Zemo because Zemo has a code.
Right.
Yeah.
In the comics, U.S. Agent Walker had a code where he had certain things he was patriotic about.
Right.
And that was the ultimate ends to his means. You know,
and maybe we'll see that.
I'm doing this for my government.
I think they're teasing it, but like I wouldn't go around saying he's like fully redeemed or nothing.
Right, exactly.
Well, no, that's why I said he
still killed somebody.
That's why I say it seems like he's on a path to redemption. I'm not saying he's fully redeemed himself.
Okay.
No, I think we can look at the replay. I said he's on a path to redemption. I didn't say he was redeemed. And so, yeah, and that's why I said if he continues on this path of redemption, I can continue to like him. But if he goes down a dark path, either willingly because someone sends him down that path, then that's a different story.
She is a terrorist. She is a spy. Working for Val is.
But you guys don't understand. You guys think everybody's bad. You guys still think Thanos is bad. You guys still think.
Goodbye.
Come on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I tried as long as I could.
Oh my God!
I tried as long as I could.
Hold on.
And here we go.
Hold on, Sharon. What I'm saying is, like, in episode 5, when John Walker was fighting Sam and Bucky over the shield, he was losing his mind. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Captain America," And for one, I think that the super soldier serum is having an effect on his mental state. But he was so driven and power hungry. I am Captain America. But when Sam was giving his speech, it was a complete 180 in his mindset to me of him realizing, okay, I am not the best for this role. Sam is the better man for this role. And so I'm just going to back step.
He got mental health issues now.
Probably. I think it may have been where like when you get your COVID vaccine, you get a little reaction. Some people get a reaction to it.
But nobody else, all the other super soldiers weren't just killing random people.
No, they were just dying.
He wasn't killing random people either.
Some of them were just dying.
They just murdered his friend.
I'm not cutting the dude any slack for the stuff that he did before.
A lot of slack.
I'm not cutting slack. I'm just saying if he's on a path. I'm just saying if his character is on a path to redemption, I'm going to give him space to travel along that path. Now he can have all the rope he needs so that he can go and follow that path or hang himself with that rope. Either one. But I'm going to give him the space that he needs to go and do that. And that's one of the things I love about Marvel is that Marvel characters are never cut and dry. They're all like, we look at Wanda and all the rest of them, they're all just sort of flawed. And unlike, I mean, you look at, that's one thing I don't particularly care about with DC. You have the Boy Scouts over there, you know? I like seeing people who are complicated and flawed, and you're like, do I like them? Are they good? Are they bad? Well, they're good, but then they're doing these bad things over here. They have bad intentions sometimes, and you have to make a decision. Are you willing to like them? You're willing to set some of that other stuff aside so that you can like them.
I ain't said nothing.
Lamont, put up No Boon 100's comment and Web Surfer talking about Sharonda here, because he said. Put up Noon Boom first. He said Sharonda is fun. I agree. That's why I used to invite her on my show all the time. She was the first invitee because I was like, we're gonna have a great time, but she didn't want to come. So I agree with
exactly. See what I'm
saying? She said my show is raggedy and that she don't want to participate. You know what I'm saying? So Sharonda is fun. I like the banter. I'm having fun now. I like that we don't agree all the time.
Has 4 jobs.
So, you know.
Sharonda uploaded 3 videos just on this live stream.
Okay.
She said my show is raggedy.
Barely has time to put out videos on her own channel.
I hear that.
She said my show is raggedy. So
I hear that.
I support all these people. You know what, y'all? They just feel bad because they haven't been inviting me.
I got receipts, y'all. I got receipts.
I actually have time.
I got receipts. We'll pull out receipts for my next movie show. Okay. I have information. It's in my sent folder. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting out of here, man. I got 4 eyes looking at me, and
before you go, can I just give a shout out to one thing? I just want to shout out.
It's only going to be 20 seconds. Sure.
That's it. I just want to give a shout out to Sam's wings when those bad boys went into the concrete when he said black and those things, and he held that shield up and his wings just held him in place. That was
nice.
I was like, that was dope. I was like, that was dope. Every time he uses those wings, he's doing something new with them.
Yeah.
We need those kind of upgrade. Up from the helicopter hitting them because is that what you mean?
No, the scene when he was fighting Karli and she went after him and he.
Yes. Huh? No, I was answering the question down below.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I did have one criticism with the action. That scene where Sam shot through the helicopter and knocked out the pilot.
45 seconds in, my brother. You're 45 seconds in. We about to go.
I like that scene too. I like that scene too.
He got to watch his baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have to get out of here.
You don't want to make it even 1 hour and 45 minutes?
Absolutely not. That's the time I can change a pamper. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. I love having this crew. They are all fun. They're barrels of. They are fun like a worm stuck in a cricket box. There are lots of fun, and I hope we can get them back. And be sure to subscribe to all their channels. Catch them when they do their shows. And until that next Sex is Hell video from us, which will be Monday, we'll see you.
Sharonda said I was raggedy.